Hello everybody, my name is Troublemaker, and we're going back to some NATO versus Pact action in the Wargame Cup 2012, brought to you by UGen Systems and Intel. So representing the NATO player, I don't know why that is so complicated, it's a four-letter word. The NATO player is Ribar. And our Pact player is Sithils. That's quite a complicated name there, Sithils. Maybe that's Sithils. Okay, Sithils. So looking at early deployments here, we see that Ribar has a command at Charlie, command at Alpha, and some scouts, and looks like a sniper gunship. Of course, this power combination here, often used to snipe early commands if a player makes a big mistake. And up here from Sithils, we see a lot of infantry. A Buratino, a very early Buratino. This might be the map for it. The fight for India. And, ooh, at TDU, we have some anti-aircraft with the Bukmis. And anything over here? Just a couple of units. A single Bukmi and an aircraft, or armored carrier. So we see he has two commands. One looks like it's going for a hotel. One looks like it's going for India. So we're going to see a person who's splitting up his commands versus a person who looks like he will be having this line here, Hotel India. Alright, so as more units get on the map, we see a lot of Martyrs and Martyr VTSIs, Leopard 2 A4s, and here we go. Slow this right down. The Gazelles, not trying to get hit by any anti-aircraft, but trying to pick off what they can. Look, very, very good control. More on the side here, picking off, FJBs. Never even heard of those. Sithlis takes a very early lead, deploying a lot of infantry in the woods here. Very, very smart. He has a command. Where are his commands at? Oh, he has in fact gone for Bravo. And his second command is somewhere hidden, probably within India. And so we're going to see a bit of an infantry battle here, and this is one of the nice things I like with this map. It does create quite the infantry slugfest. We have single TPC Fuchs coming forward. Too much here for the deal with, though. Let's E.T. Spadokornoskis, and ooh, that is not the angle of attack he intended. The Yagers will go down, and that puts Sithlis in a big lead as more Yagers and TPC Fuchs moving forward, trying to take some kind of position. India has in fact gone to Ribar. Where's the second command of Ribar gone to? And this is just some good places. You can actually put it into this factory here, but all these little towns, you can put infantry in them and just sniping so you can try to get by. Another little battle, 4 Spadokornorskis versus 1 Yager squad. And the Yager squad, of course, goes down. So very, very early advantage gone to Sithils, whose name reminds me of Silipus. Is it possible that he actually deleted his second command? He's only going for a 1 command strategy. Is that possible? No, he actually has 2. Oh, here comes his second command. He wanted to secure the middle first before he brought one there, and here it comes. Now, where did those helicopters go? Looks like he has them stored back here. Not wanting to lose them randomly. That's probably the most common way of losing them. And we can see here we have a big spread of Scots. Don't have any infantry in them, oddly enough. Just empty Scots moving along the map. Possibly used for spotting attacks. And we have a few of these SPOOs, SPOO 60 PBs, going in to try and capture some of these town locations, which of course are very advantageous. And here comes the command here. So it will be a very low point game because of the fact that India will not pick it on. Oh, we have some French Speyer action, and the French Speyers down. 2 Yagers coming in. He's just actually just throwing a lot of units away here. You can kind of see right off the bat there are 8 Spadokornerskis here. He's going to need something bigger. Ooh, the Buratino fires off, hitting. Oh, big hits. Getting a lot of French Speyers. Got 1 Leopard 2A4. And it looks like this will be his tactic. And this is what I would think would be the best way to play this map, but not the most common. And that is 2 players grab the middle, and then 2 players shell each other with artillery. And it looks like only one player is intended to do this. what I think would be the best strategy. And this is kind of like the risk of the Buratino. It's got a very, very short range, so in order for it to be used, you have to secure a nice bit of the territory. Kind of scary. Looks like we'll have a little of a standstill. These gazelles, of course, are still floating around, trying to be useful. They can actually snipe out a nice bit without risking too much, but I mean, there's always the fear of bookmies. So for now, looks like he's just patrolling. Does this really add any vision? Not really. But this, by adding this power combination, anytime he sees a unit, he can just snipe at it. And it looks like the Gazelle is moving a little too far away from his recon. We have a Raritan support vehicle coming in. There are a lot of infantry here for it to deal with. And the Bookme does catch it. And ooh, big hit by Sithils. And he gets one of Ribar's Gazelles. Can the Raritan get into position? Yes, it can. Looks like a Spoo is moving up as the infantry here wind up. I think they might have cancelled that. It's possible they might have cancelled attack, so he doesn't lose his squad here. But Spoo versus Raritan, and it looks like Raritan might just stop in Spoo. Not totally unexpected. It's one vehicle versus one vehicle, and nope, the Spoo actually runs away, but the Raritan takes position. And now we're seeing here more artillery fire. We have where are they at? There is artillery around. Here we go. The AML-60 mortar carriers, 3 of them, and just shelling at the middle. Probably going to slowly creep his way up. Currently, he's not hitting anything, but that can change quickly. And yeah, like I said, it's gonna be a slow game, just because. Oh, whoa! It looks to me like Sithils has in fact said, "Hey, I have a 200 point lead. I am taking a second base." He now has double the points, and so very soon this game will pick up. In the meantime, we have 4 Raritans chasing down the Spoo. The Spoo goes down. He's actually accompanied by a Mutt. Of course, the Mutt for spotting. Doesn't want to get ambushed. And he's creating a position around India. Interestingly enough, very common as well. Buratino, of course, moving back up for a few shots. Raritan coming into this group of special forces, and Raritan over here coming in the group of special forces. Ooh, he's not firing. He's in fact routed. And if he can get some shots off, he can probably kill this crazy force. But oh, he's panicked. He's slowing down. I mean, over here we get the exact same thing happen, except more Raritans in force. Raritan's coming in from this flank, very good. And here comes a Buratino fire. Looks like it's done considerable damage again. Martyr VTSIs hit badly and are stunned and moving out into the open. And whoa, look at the crazy points from that Buratino fire. And this is a big reason why a lot of people are not very favoring of this map. It's got a lot of multi-rocket launcher cheese, they call it, in which the Buratinos just win too much. And it looks like the Raritans are engaging these Spadokonerskis, and should take some considerable losses here. Artillery fire trying to cover the best it can, but doesn't look like it will. It looks like he's just going to run by and go for some command kill action. But oh, the Spadokonerskis are in such good force that they're wiping out all these support vehicles. BMP moving back into position. Okay, here comes the Raritans. If they could just snipe that command, that would be huge. But it looks like they're targeting them, the Spoos, the 4 Spoos. And it looks as though he's pulling the command, actually, giving controlled middle temporarily to Ribar. He'll probably get like 4 points out of this. And a T-80U has no rockets left on it. It's coming in for simple machine gun fire. The Raritans are rooted though. And looks like this attack has been mostly cleaned up. There are 10 Yagers here, but there's actually just too much to deal with them. The Spadokonerskis are coming as well to clean this up. This one's rooted, not firing. The other one that was firing is dead, and the Raritans are all cleaned up. The Yagers are just completely dodging this group of Spadokonerskis. And middle has in fact controlled to being neutral. So Sithils really just exploiting the crap out of the Buratinos, doing very well with this. Now there are 10 Yagers here, and it looks like Ribar might try to move them across, which of course is a mistake because there are some Spoos here to deal with that. It's artillery fire versus artillery fire. This tank looks like it's just being grazed by artillery fire, but it's actually just dodging completely. The Yagers are engaging some Spoos, and evading them completely, but some Matschutzens are coming up to take care of them. The Augur trying to get in range of this command. The command gets pulled just in time. The Matschutzens are coming in to clean this up. And just a lot of small, very important battles taking place. And looks like the aggression of Ribar has been shut down. He has done considerable damage, though. Has got himself back into the game. And we're going to speed this up because I can imagine this is how it's going to go. I got myself some artillery. I also got myself some artillery. I'm going to follow my artillery. I think I also follow my artillery. And they just do that for a while. These Spado Kornarskis are getting very aggressive, might I note. He's moving French spires for scouting. He's got some anti-tank guns, some VAB anti-infantry units. And he's actually moving a tank destroyer around this corner. Could be within range of this Monitor VTSI very soon. So looks like the Sithils is taking it upon himself to move up. He has taken advantage of his advantage. Doesn't make a lot of sense. He has taken advantage of his command advantage, and he's been producing a lot more units and a lot more high quality units. So that's good. These, of course, are going to be the bane. There might not be enough here to really deal with this. He's moving in more infantry, but this Spado Kornarski army is pretty fierce. Looks like it will wipe out this VAB as well. He's just taking out everything in its path. French bears, of course, are not all that good against other infantry. Not cost effective, at least. And so now, the Leopard 2A4 would, of course, be a great target if he can get that. Artillery fire shelling this location, trying to wipe out this massive, bulky sized army. Usually you don't see an army this big. And one unit goes down from artillery fire and dodges that volley. Looks like he'll continue to dodge the volleys just because he's in a good position. The French spires, looks like they will retreat. And more French spires and TPC, folks. This should be able to clean it up. There is some nice angled troops here. He does have a supply here, resupplying these legions with units as they die. This French Spire looks like it might just go down. It did. It survived. That French Spire Legion survived. And the multi-rocket launcher Buratino shelling the area, adding in more and more points every time it fires. Just a devastating little piece of trash. And the Buratino is, early on in the game, had a really bad reputation of being kind of cheesy because of these big giant point score games and whatnot, and how the NATO didn't really have something similar to it, but now they do. People just don't use it. But we have the mortars. Where'd the mortars go? Did they move back to resupply? Did they die? The mortars, oh, here they are. But you can see the big difference. Here's 3 mortars shelling at this location here. And then you have 1 Buratino shelling at this location. Even though there's 2 more AMLs than Buratinos, the Buratino is still more effective. Kind of scary. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that the mortars are not being targeted properly. They're going for smaller locations where there's really not a lot of units. And the Buratino kind of knows where everything is. It's kind of in a very small location. So, looking at another troop deployment, and one of the things with these kind of small unit games is that people are either forced to bank up a lot of resources or just constantly bring out small amounts of infantry. And this looks like a game where everyone's just constantly bringing out small amounts of infantry, and it's just going to be a big battle of infantry exchange. Keep in mind, Ribar is closing the gap now. He's only 75 points behind. He only needs a few more lucky hits from this mortar, and he can really bring himself back in. The Spoo trying to poke in at the Mutt. Mutts, of course, have no guns, so that one will die. A lot of people can choose to get those because they're so cheap. And the Gazelle's moving up, trying to knock out something, but might have overextended, and they in fact did, as the Gazelles go down. So it's still actually a pretty close game at this point. 35-point difference. Ribar could come back with a number of possibilities. The mortars are in fact moving up to get a better shot, and they're in fact going to shell a good location. maybe right here. The French spiders are running right into Spado Kornarski's and eliminated and eliminated. Because of course, French spiders are not that good. Called. But they did get the scouting information needed for the mortars. The mortars are firing, but these Spado Kornarskis are just, oh my god, the mortars just instant died there. You see that? Oh no, they're over here. Silly me. This group of 8 platoons of Spado Kornarskis are moving up. We have a little bit of action here. We get some Martyr BTSIs, some Martyr Rolands in this position here, trying to punch through. The Buratino is pulled back. And oh, here comes a big push of infantry. This is actually quite scary for Ribar, because this is something he hasn't really got a lot for. There are a lot of units here, and it looks like they will try and gun this down, but there's a lot of units that are not quite that effective against this big volley of mortars. Stuns. Nope, that's the Buratino fire, which he dodges. That's good. And now this northern position looks like it's been taken very... Sorry, that's a southern position. The southern position has been taken very well by Ribar, who has been using these Spado Kornarskis and big, giant, vicious groups very effectively. Here comes a large group of French spiders and a very large group of Jagers, and that is enough. The French spiders haven't split up because they have recon capabilities, and it looks like this group of Spado Kornarskis might just fall to lots of mortar on this location. And actually, if he's able to do enough damage here, he could actually make a big comeback. Oh, look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Big comeback. And in fact, Ribar has made a comeback. I have no idea what level these guys are, I should note, but it looks fairly high level because they're staying, or at least even level, because they're staying very close. And oh my god, a large cluster of vehicles moving forward. The Scots, of course, don't have any weapons, but everything else is pretty good. The Scots running forward. Looks like they're just trying to skip the position. It doesn't look like they're attempting to attack because once again they have no weapons. And the BMPs, after the diversion of a Scot, the Scots of course are in the front just to soak some of that damage. As the BMP 685 cavalry tanks and the T-80U come from behind. If they waste too much of their ammunition on these Scots, they will not have the ammunition to deal with this. And Martyr BTSI tank destroyer moving from the side, hitting down some of these BMPs. This might be a flopped attack on the part. This Spado Kornarski's also in the middle doing quite a bit of damage. BMPs continue to rush forward. Lots of infantry. We have a pulled command. A pulled command. The middle has in fact gone the Sithils. And oh, he's lost 2 of his cavalry tanks so far. He continues to push forward. The T-80U is trying to get this Martyr VTSI, which is sniping the tank destroyer or the cavalry tank over here. The Martyr VTSI goes down. Continuing to wind up. One hits some of these big money targets. It's still very close. This attack not entirely flopped. The OT Scots still in action here, being a diversion that they are. And ooh, is that some rockets? Is this a tank destroyer? We have a Tunguska supporting from the south, and a Bukmi as well. And 2 tank destroyers still alive. The cavalry tank is pretty close to being dead. As more and more Martyr VTSIs are here, they've been split up to maximize effectiveness in this battle. And it looks as though the artillery fire actually is able to push back a lot of these units. And as this comes to a close, Ribar actually comes ahead. Most of these units looks like they will be in trouble, having massive morale damage inflicted on them. And in fact, Sithils is forced to pull back and forced to regroup. He does have the control of the middle, but there's only 10 minutes left in the game. That's 10 very scary minutes for Sithils, who has a massive income lead, 2, 4, 6, 10 versus 4. But unfortunately, his number of points is actually quite low. And he's continuing the Spado Kornarski's attacks, moving forward. French Spire die off to the rockets. Martyr VTSI dead as well. Oh, a Jager might be kicked off. Oh yeah. And now suddenly it's back to being a very even game. Sithils doing very well to stay in this despite a pretty massive loss. And now all the stuff that really stopped this force is dead. And this is the scary part. It's very scary if you're Ribar right now. Ribar is just non-stop firing on these mortars because he knows if he can get some lucky hits on these mortars, he's in it. And he's won. But if this Buratino moves forward and shells this location, that could be it. The Buratino, of course, very good against weapons. And we have a single, no, sorry, 4 Loaded Scots. Oh no, they're going the wrong way. Nope, they're going the right way. They're chasing down this command. Oh, right into all the anti-infantry groups. Mott shoots into certain low shell. He sees deployed. Oh my god, Ribar is going to kill them all, and he does. So it's now a 40-point lead. 5 minutes left in the game. Buratino is moving up, and here it comes. This is the big moment. Will it do enough damage? Oh god. 30-point difference. And I think we have another wave of Buratino fire here. Yes, we do. We're seeing lots of these cavalry tanks being moved forward. They would want nothing but to snipe this mortar. It's a 20-point difference now, which is very scary, of course. Some tank destroyers moving up. Want to get these TPZ Fuchs and this Martyr II. We have some cavalry tank. These are all big, expensive, powerful units. It's now a 5-point difference. 5-point difference. Are you kidding me? It's coming down to the wire, as it looks like Sithils has a giant tank formation moving forward, and it might just come down to a lucky fire of this mortar. The mortar does fire on probably this front location. If it can get anything at all, it'd be huge. The Buratino is moving up. It's moving up, and it looks as though we're going to see a turtle from Sithil. He's pulling back all of his units to a nice, easily defendable location. He realizes what's going on here. He sees that Sithils is in fact pulling forward, and that the best offense in a situation where everyone's moving forward tanks is a defense. Still 5 points left. The mortar not hitting a single thing. The Buratino starts to wind up, and this is scary. He might catch off a unit off guard, and oh, here we go. Firing. Where is it firing? It looks like it's a total miss. It's a total miss. Still 5-point difference. OT Scott doesn't want to get shot here. He knows that anything at all could matter right now. BMP's winding up, going for an attack. Anti-tank gun Milan hits a target. That's a 50-point difference. It is doing, this is what I'm talking about. Nice defensive play, firing on this location. He might get more of these cavalry tanks. The cavalry tanks pulling back, knowing it's problematic. Oh my god, 100-point difference. And this could be it. Ribar could take it. A big giant win from behind. And I don't mean that in a homosexual way at all. I mean that he has definitely deserved this. The BMP's also getting sniped down. But oh my god, he's targeting on these Ribars. If the Rebars die, this could be problematic. The Rebars are actually charging forward. I don't know if they should be doing that. But of course, they have no more artillery shells. It's a 200-point difference now. Oh my god. This pullback, of course, has helped out Sithils a little bit, as everything is being pushed forward. That has been right-clicked. And oh my god, 150-point difference. Killing two of these will bring back to a 50-point difference and bring him back in the game. The tank destroyer is winding up against this tank, and the tank is not a great position. Oh my god, it's so close. 100-point difference now. This tank is just dodging rockets. You can actually see the rockets just sifting past its face. This is the slowest possible win ever. And we have the T-80s actually targeting down these anti-tank guns, which of course are worth about 40 points each, so it hits the rockets. Oh my god, 200-point difference. That must have been a command being hit somewhere. Ribar, you sexy beastie. Look at this. He's queued up enough gunship helicopters to destroy everything. If they can get there in time, that could be dangerous. We have 2 minutes left, and it's actually still possible, still possible for him to win this. Ribar can still, or Sithils can still win this with a very, very well-placed giant pile of gunship helicopters. There isn't much anti-aircraft units here. There isn't 2 Martyr Roland and a Shrapnel, but not really enough to deal with, like, what's this, 16 helicopters? That's insane. And of course, these 16 helicopters will not be alone. They will have a tank destroyer here. It doesn't look like anything here can actually help, though. There is a little bit of supply here, but not really enough in time. Can these helicopters make it in time? Here we go. The big giant wave helicopters in a column besides. Just how desperate he is right now. Ooh, there goes 2 down. And oh no, this is a huge win for Ribar. Look at that. He just went right in the middle. Ribar deployed everything very effectively. A big win for Ribar, who was an 1874 player. Oh, it was fairly close. Look at that. It was like a 1700 player versus 1700 player. So big win for Ribar. Ribar moves on to round 3. Thank you guys for joining me. Find out next time what exciting game I'll be casting. Probably won't be as exciting as this one. See you then.